Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One. This is your boy Mo, and I'm going to be talking about and reviewing Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4, Episodes 1 and 2. They're entitled Tuvix, and I have no bones, yet I must flee. It's all coming to you from Paramount Plus. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? And before I get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, Star Trek Lower Decks makes its triumphant return to streaming for the fourth season, and it's coming off of the heels of a really cool crossover episode with Star Trek Strange New Worlds in the previous, like month. I think a month and a half ago, we saw that. It was really cool to see Boimler and Mariner in live action, and also to see the Strange New Worlds crew in animation. All that being said, what's going on the Cerritos? The second contact ship that we've grown to love. What's going on with Rutherford and Tendi and all of the hilarious characters that we've gotten to know? Well, in this first episode entitled Tuvix, you have the USS Voyager, a very heralded ship, and of course the main ship of the Voyager TV show, a show that was much maligned in its original run, but over the years, especially thanks to streaming, has come around to be more loved and thought of by the Star Trek community, especially as New Trek has sort of come to pass in the last 5 or so years. People are sort of looking back with nostalgia or what have you with it. That being said, this Voyager is being turned into a museum piece, and as being towed by the Cerritos, or not towed by the Cerritos, but being crewed by some of the people from the Cerritos to take this museum piece to where it's essentially going to be docking. And they have a very uptight curator who doesn't want his pieces messed up, which makes me wonder, why would you do all of it, well away from where you're actually going to set the thing down? But you know what? That's too much. Let's not think too hard about that. What we really want to focus on, we got two storylines going on. What's going on the Voyager, and what's going on the Cerritos. On the Voyager, we got Boimler and Mariner going. They're having going, and Rutherford, who are going to help with getting this ship to where it's supposed to go and moving everything around and all that good stuff. And Boimler, he is off his game. Normally, he is a big old, he's a big old Starfleet spaceship geek and everything like that, but not this time around, because he is all worried about Ransom telling him that he's probably getting a promotion as long as they don't screw anything up. Good way to really put Boimler off his game. And he really shows the whole episode. He's just sort of, not even want to call it screwing around. He's screwing up unintentionally, just kind of flipping out. We're used to the Boimler scream, but it's sort of employed here in a way that we're not used to, because he's just kind of flipping out about, or just, making a mess of things that are very, very much normal. And maybe having the wrong reaction to things actually starting to be weird, because of course we can't just have a normal episode. And this one, all of the shenanigans and hijinks of the Voyager, which as Mariner says is a bunch of weird stuff, sort of comes into play. This macro virus sort of had been hiding out in the conduits or something, and it gets out and starts multiplying and just causing a ruckus. And the Borg cube is somehow it gets out, or the Borg remnants gets out and starts trying to take over the whole starts trying to take over the whole ship and everything like that. You get a Borg macrovirus, you get just a bunch of just mess, and it's going to take the Voyager to the nearest Borg cube. And it's all this really, believe it or not, this is all about getting Boimler to just freaking believe in himself and stop being, self-sabotaging, I guess you could say. So that sort of Mariner, she's very important in this episode, because she's besties with Boimler and everything, and her ability to sort of get him to realize, yes, you're capable, yes, you should be confident in yourself. You're the only one that can do this. We're tied up, literally tied up with like whatever the sticky mess is that's got us against the wall, but you can do it. And it's enough to get Boimler on his game so that he can go, mount a rescue. And I was funny. He was like, Ransom, you're cool, but I need an engineer right now. And he gets Rutherford out, and Rutherford uses some weird cheese to get into this circuits or something. I don't know. Look, Voyager was weird apparently. I haven't even watched the whole show, but this is a thing that happened, but it does keep them from getting to the Borg cube. And that's, I mean, look, it was a fun time, especially if you are a Star Trek Voyager fan. I'm sure lots of Easter eggs and everything like that. Really fun stuff there. On the other side of it, we had the whole thing, which this is named after, is Tuvix, where God, my God, and I don't even want to get into the whole ethics of Tuvix or Tuvok or whatever heck it was when Neelix and Tuvok merged because of this flower and look, it's a thing. If you want to get out on social media and see them talk about the implications of Tuvix and everything, okay, do that. I'm not gonna do that, but they do very hilariously lampshade that entire thing. Like, you can tell that Mike McMahon and the writers, they're completely dialed into what they do on, what people are talking about on the internet, what Star Trek Twitter and Star Trek social media is talking about, because this whole thing with Tuvix is a thing. So it's literally, I forget who what is it, the cat, doctor, and I forget who else gets merged, but they merge. I think it's the chief engineer. They merge and they're like, oh man, let's, this is cool, and I'm on my own being, and the Captain Freeman's like, well, how do you fix this? Oh, they literally have to kill them. Well, no, we're not in the Delta Quadrant. We're just gonna go to Earth and let them figure it out. But no, this new being, I think it's called Taelips. It's just like, no, instead of letting them kill me, I'm gonna make more of me so no one can kill me. We're gonna have a whole thing and so we're gonna have a whole army of us. So literally goes around kidnapping everyone and putting them in a transporter and turning it into, these dual identities, which I love that they take this whole Tuvix thing to the extreme. Like, Lower Decks works when it does crap like that. We're just like, it takes the silliness of Star Trek and follows it to its silly and logical extreme. And in this case, an army of dual personalities is just so stupid that it makes sense, I guess. And so it's kind of up to, because the captain and everyone gets done, it's up to Tindy and the Vulcan. I'm going to remember her name eventually, but the Vulcan ensign. It's up to them to sort of science their way through this, and they almost sort of get it together, except the Vulcan ensign. It's just like, I know what to do, and ends up merging them into a big old meat sack that's non-sentient, which again, lampshading the whole Tuvix deal, kind of pretty much deals with the whole ethics of whether or not separating them kills a sentient being, because sure it does, but this sentient being was just a big old meat sack essentially, so there's no real ethical dilemma really to separate them. And I again like the lampshading of that. Very fun. And so at the end of all of this, obviously it's a big adventure, and Boimler does end up earning his junior, was it a junior lieutenant or whatever, Pip. So does Tindy, obviously, and so does the Vulcan ensign, and so does Mariner, the person that wants to never be higher than an ensign, gets it, and as as she tries to give back, nope, she can't take it back. So, oh man, let me just say, this whole thing with Ransom and Mariner, I love it. I cannot wait to see more of that. That like it's beautiful, especially when you see what happens in episode 2, which is you know, them I think Ransom and Mariner and some ensign are going down to this menagerie to sort of get some humans that have been stuck in the menagerie. And but at the beginning of the episode, Mariner overhears Ransom talking about that she's not going to be his problem anymore, so she thinks he's going to demote her, so she's going to work to get herself demoted. So she's just basically being Ultra Mariner, essentially going through this through the episode, trying to get Ransom to be like, no, I'm going to demote you because, as she said, it's going to be on my terms if I get demoted. And so she's just being, she's being herself. Well, I don't want to say herself. She's being her super insubordinate self in this really fun menagerie that, it's a space station, everything. There's all these things. And where it really takes a turn for the hilarious is when the Moopsie is let loose. Moopsie looks like a dang Pokemon. And I'm sure that's intentional. Looks like a dang Pokemon. And I was like, okay, this Moopsie is clearly the worst thing that's possibly here. And it's verified by the corn guy, the corn looking dude, that it eats bones and it essentially starts going around rampaging and chasing them down around the station. To the point where they finally, they get locked up in a control station, and then they lock it into the main controls. And they're like, how are we going to beat this thing? And that's where Ransom and Mariner sort of hash out that he's not trying to, demote her or whatever, and she needs to try hard, and he's going to support her, and he's not taking her, he's not going to take her trying to fail. He's not going to allow it. So that leads to her punching the shit out of him so many times so that they can lure the Moopsie back into its space with teeth. Okay, cool. And it all works because why wouldn't it? And then, of course, they discover that the humans have essentially, they were the one that set the Moopsie loose because they want to, steal the whole menagerie from, the caretaker. And as Mariner says, humans really are the worst, and they just kind of leave them there. What good stuff. I liked it. Again, I did want to see more Mariner and Ransom. Good stuff there. The B plot, Rutherford trying to, and I guess a bit of the C plot too, but Rutherford trying to engineer his way into getting a promotion so that he can be, equal to his, the other lower deckers. And if he's getting shown up by the brand new ensign in engineering, left, right, and center, it's really just pissing him off. Meanwhile, Boimler's trying to find a room that isn't the worst possible room because he's the junior ensign and he's at the, he gets no love and no respect. So it's just a whole lot of fun of him, being in a room by the nacelles, him being in a room between the holodecks, him trying to sleep in a Jeffries tube, all that good stuff. And at the end of it, Rutherford does end up getting his pip because, apparently he's turned down the pips over and over because he didn't want to lose. He didn't want to lose his friendship with Tindy, which that continues to be super wholesome. Yay. I do enjoy their friendship. And she's just like, hey, we're gonna still be friends no matter what, but seriously, why don't you just ask for the damn pip since you turned it down so many times? And Billups gives it to him. Yay. So problem solved. And he gets to be roommates with Boimler. And the horrible room near the nacelle, it turns out, surprise, why is Boimler so smart but also so stupid? Just ask the computer to polarize the windows. I thought that the second he walked in, but you know what? It wouldn't be Boimler. It wouldn't be Star Trek Lower Decks without Boimler being sort of an idiot. So all the way around, I had a good time with these 2 episodes. I love this show. So glad that they are back. I can't wait to see more of what's going on with this this ongoing threat that's going around and destroying various ships of different Federation, Klingon ships and Vulcan ships and so forth. I want to see what's going on with that and how it's going to affect the Cerritos. So just all the way around, glad that this is back. Star Trek rules, and this particular iteration of Star Trek is awesome. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode. What did you guys think about it? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there, and of course you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do me a favor while you're down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps so more people can see these videos, helps to grow this channel, and I appreciate it. All right, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. I'm going to talk about episode 3 of Star Trek Lower Decks. It should be a good time. Come join me. Until then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.